So guys, do you guys want to move on to the main topic here for today?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, so I have I wanted to address this topic because I feel like it's a topic that is taboo within the Black community. One of my Facebook friends, shout out to Shakes Leonard, he wrote a post that was very triggering for me. I have the post here. I would like to read it to you guys. There's some profanity in it. I would like to try to maneuver around it as much as I can so that you guys, get the gist of it. But what the post says is, I think a lot of you who think you had an active father would be surprised at the sex your mother had to give up so that he showed up to your dance recital and track meets. A lot of times when men say, I tried to be around for y'all, but your mother wouldn't let me, what they mean is that she wouldn't let him come over and get his peen sucked in exchange for his presence. Mothers do this every single day for their kids. I'm telling you, a lot who ended up with an active dad who didn't has to do with this. Some of you had a dad that wasn't there for you, but he was there for some kids he had with another woman. That's because she was giving it up and your mother wasn't. So he was there for those kids and not you. And a lot of times those women are pressured into giving it up because they've already seen how he did you and your mother, and she doesn't want that for her children. And if it costs her a little bit of PUSSY, she's willing to pay the price. This is the ugly side of the Black community that very few people talk about. Pimp culture is popular in our community for a reason.
I don't think that. I think that could be raceless. Like I think that might do with a lot of. It might do with white people too.
But like men in general.
Yeah, just men in general. But shout out to whoever wrote that post. That's something that's not talked about a lot, but he does, or he or she does have a good point right there.
But the only reason why I feel like I disagree with you is because, like, statistically, in the Black community, it's like 70 to 80% of our children are being brought up in single parent homes, and it's not the same for white people. So,
but I'm saying I know white people that go through that same. I'm not saying the percentages are the same, but I do know white families that go through that same thing to where the dad is a jerk to the family because the mom ain't giving him no play.
Well,
so let me ask this question to the women. Like, so I got two girls. I got a 28-year-old and a, don't you judge me, and a 9-year-old, right? But those are my daughters. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of the relationship that I have with their mother, which is, we have great relationships. And I think it's because I don't want them and they don't want me. You know what I mean? I just take care of my daughters. You know what I'm saying? But I do have female friends that go through that. You know what I'm saying? And my question is, and I guess this is to ladies, you know what I mean? Me and my man, we ain't gonna know this. So when a woman has a deadbeat a child's father, right? I'm not even gonna get into the telltale signs from the beginning. You know what I mean? That maybe the woman overlooked because she was so caught up in the relationship, right? But if I talk about some of the relationships that I've been in, the situations I've been in, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I definitely vibe with what the dude's saying and understand that, you know what I'm saying? But, and you ladies will have to tell me because I'm not a lady, but I always figure a parent's job, especially the mother, is to protect their child against anybody that's going to do them harm. So if you got this guy that's only around, and I've dated women like this, that are only around for access to the mother, like, when do you cut them off? And when do you allow the guy that you're dating, right, to step in and be that positive male role model that your kid needs? Because I'm definitely an advocate of all kids need both parents. And if they can't have both parents, they need a positive male role model and a positive female role model for balance. You know what I mean? We're hunters, we're gatherers, we're aggressive, we're the disciplinary. The woman is the nurturer. You know what I'm saying? So when do, as a woman, when do you decide that enough is enough? I know this dude is only around because I'm letting him hit. You know what I'm saying? I need to protect the well-being of my son or my daughter and not allow her to go through this mental abuse and just cut him off.
Well, for me, if I'm gonna just be candid, my daughter was 2. She was 2.
2 years.
Like this post definitely embodies my experience, because there was a point where I came to a realization that if I was not sleeping with him, he would not see her that much. And guess what? When I made the decision for myself to stop dealing with him, that's exactly what happened. Once I stopped dealing with him on that level, the times he's seen her was few and far between.
That's sad.
It is, but that's the reality of it. And I'm not even going because I told y'all this post was triggering for me. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, nothing. That's my experience. And
it's hard from the guy's point of view, you know, the outsider. I'm an outsider. I'm like, and just a relationship right off the bat, I'm like, you know what? Your son's father got too much access for me. What you mean? I said, I can guarantee you that dude is only in your son's life because he thinks he got a chance with you. Well, it ain't nah, maybe it is something. Maybe the fact that he's allowed to come to your house. Oh, he's bringing my son some wings and a pizza. Wait, how about if he come get your son? Ooh, I almost said. How about if he come get his son and take him to one of his practices that he's supposed to go to? You know what I'm saying? But when they go, ooh, she gonna get me. When they go to the practice, right? She takes him to the practice, and the dad shows up at the practice too. Wait, this is COVID. They don't both go in while the son's practicing. Let him come get his son and take his son to practice if he really wants to be with his son. No, he wants to be with you. You know what I'm saying? He wants to be with you. You know what I mean? So, long story short, I end up falling all the way back because I'm like, listen, if I'm the new man in your relationship, you ain't been with this dude since your son was young. You know what I'm saying? I'm not coming second to that dude. If I say I'm coming over your house and you tell me, well, won't you wait till after my son dropped off? And I'm like, already like, oh, she must be trying to have me for dude. But why? You claim you don't want him. You claim he don't want you. Like, why? Like, why? You know what I'm saying? And I've walked away from a lot of relationships because the woman has given the guy too much access for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was never in that situation where, oh, my dad wants to see, you know, I mean, or my son or my daughter misses their father, and so I'm gonna have to do this and do that so he'll be around. Like, fuck that. Forget him.
Well, you know what? I can say, like, the beautiful thing about your kids getting older, kids are smart.
They are.
For me, I'm just removing myself because the bottom line is it gets to an age where she's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She can now hold you accountable herself. So if you didn't do what you said you was gonna do, she'll ask me, this is something that happened. Well, why didn't my dad do X, Y, and Z? I don't know. Ask him.
I dated a girl one time, right?
Make up excuses for you. I'm not here to have these hard conversations for you. She's gonna hold you accountable, and you gonna have to tell her.
I was dating this one girl. I got into a conversation. I got into an argument with her. I'll tell you what happened. So I said, listen, we got to leave at 4 o'clock to get where we're going by 5. She's like, okay, my daughter's father's coming to get her right around 4. So we'll be good. It's 4:15. We still waiting for him to get there. You know what I'm saying? And like I told her, you know what I mean? After he came, now we late. We running late. You know what I'm saying? And like I told her in the car, I said, listen, you're going to have to figure that out because the next time we're due to be somewhere at a certain time, if he don't come get his daughter's coming with us. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to keep being late and adjusting my schedule to deal with him. You know what I'm saying? with your kid's father. I'm just not. I'm not coming second to some other dude. You know what I'm saying?
She gotta be a better
Want his daughter.
organizer.
He want his daughter. He better be on time to pick her up when she going with me. It's just like that. And y'all gotta deal with that. She got to defending him. I said, listen to me. You're my woman, and I'm sitting here arguing with you, and you defending your daughter's father. This conversation's over. No. I said, let me tell you something. This conversation's over. I'm gonna take your fucking ass back home and drop you off the curb. You know what I'm saying? No, but we Tukey, put the turn signal on, took her back. Like, get the fuck out of my car. On some real shit. Because if you're my woman, why am I arguing with you about another man? No, you're not gonna slight me for your kid's father, who's a part-time dude. He's a part-time father. And I guess I get so bent out of shape and adamant because I raised my first daughter. Not on my own, nothing like that. But her mother allowed me to raise her. So she was with me everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I instilled the values with her. You know what I'm saying? I had her working the cleaning business when she was 13. I taught her how to do this, her homework, this, study. I was at the basketball practices. I bought a Suburban for cheerleading. So I could take her on her group. I was there. I was the only parent on PTO. You know what I mean? So when a dude falls short of his responsibilities, that shit gets under my skin for real.
Yeah, but especially if you're falling short because their mother won't sleep with you no more.
Yeah, that's a
I feel like that is
totally
usually how it goes. That's just. I mean, we can only speak from the mom and the female perspective. You guys can speak for the male perspective of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I already had 2 children coming into a relationship that's current right now. My husband already had 2 kids before him. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we were so young, and he's younger than I am. So I already had 2 kids coming into a relationship, but at the age that he did, he stepped in and stepped completely up because he didn't have to do that because I already had 2 kids. Now my older 2 kids' father was always in and out of jail, so he never was consistent in their life for a long extended period of time where they could remember. When they were younger, yeah, but like as they got older in those years, he wasn't. There was when he did come home, he did do things with the kids, but it was to a certain extent on the fact of the conversation that I might have had with him, or you know what I'm saying? Me, him making a promise, or me making a promise, and or you know, just a conversation or whatever, for him to do what he needed to do for them. If say I said, oh yeah, I'll be out Friday, like yeah, we can link Friday, Monday through Thursday. This nigga is doing this nigga is doing that, he's showing up or whatever. Friday come, I play him. Like I don't show up because I gotta do, like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to get my kids shit, which I shouldn't even have to be doing because these are your kids. Like you just missed a couple of years of their life. Then it stopped. Then it became a little, some little vindictive shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? All because you didn't have access to me because I was already with someone. When it shouldn't have even been like that. So I know there's a lot of females, more than probably we could even name or think of, that goes through that type of situation, especially if they got another. Now, my husband, he doesn't have children to no one else. Thank God, because I don't know if I would be able to deal with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? If it was like you said, he still wanting her or her still wanting him. If those dynamics are in there, it's always going to be a fucking problem. It's always going to be a problem. But if you can co-parent without anything being attached, do that. That's the best thing. The last couple of months of my kids' life, I was holding their father accountable for the things that he said that he was going to do. You need to do this. You need to be here. You need to do this. he said he didn't have time and was killed. So he really didn't have time. But it hurt my kids because he made those promises and he was saying these things. And when all he had to do was just show up, like he didn't have to buy, even though he did. All they wanted was just time because they missed out on so much time. Like, and at that time, my kids were old enough to verbalize to him. Like you said, Jessica, once they get to a certain age, they can verbalize to the dad. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they were at that age where they were verbal with him, and he said he didn't have time, and he really did.
So Kenya, let me ask you this, because I dated a girl and this was a problem too. And it used to piss me off because I didn't understand. So what this woman would do. Now, remember, I said our job is to protect our kids against anything that's out there to hurt them, right? Remember, I said that.
Right.
So he would promise to come get his 2 sons, and the one was a daddy's boy all the way, even though the dad was a half-ass dad. He's still a daddy's boy, right?
Right.
So he would promise to come get them at 6 o'clock today. It's 9 o'clock. They sitting on the couch with their clothes, with their jackets and their book bags waiting to come. He don't come.
That's
like,
terrible.
how many times are you gonna allow your kid's father to disappoint your kids before you cut him off?
That's what I'm
You
saying.
set him up for failure. Like, cut him off.
Everybody's situation is different, but I'm sure that females do get to a point where though, like, this is not working, this is not healthy. Kids do get older, so you can't keep, you know what I'm saying, playing that game where though, like, you making excuses for this man, like, you know what I mean? So there comes a time when that happens. Unfortunately for me, you know what I'm saying? My kids my 2 older kids, their father died. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was killed. So the whole dynamic changed for that. As far as their stepdaddy, when I say he stepped in, he stepped all the way in. The relationship was in his beginning stages at the times when he came home from jail. So he allowed me to figure that out. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was trying to figure that out the best way that I could without sleeping with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Make the promises, had the conversations, like, you know what I'm saying? Just so I could get him to do, you know what I mean? So it's definitely real. My kids didn't, I ain't gonna say, I'm gonna take that back because I do know what it's like to lose a father, like, you know what I'm saying? And if they had a stepfather, but I know that nobody can fill the shoes of their real dad, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's something that they had, that's a loss for them. So they'll tell you, like, they miss him or whatever, but for as like the support, being there, learning how to ride a bike, learning how to tie shoes, first game, graduation, my husband's been there. So like he's been there. We 25 years in.
So you know what? So, and I always say this all the time. So your husband is a good dad.
He's a good dad. He's a good father to the children that we have, and he's a good dad to the 2 that's not his.
He's a good dad. See, I had a conversation with a couple guys before. I'm a good dad. I'm a good dad. I said, there ain't no such animal as a fucking good dad, man. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm a good dad. You ain't gonna tell me I ain't no good dad. I said, you name one thing that you do for your son that's so spectacular. Not only will I give you a good dad title, but I'll give you $500. I'll take him to football practice. You're supposed to do that. That's right. Your son. Oh, I help him with his homework. You're supposed to do that. You're a son.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People don't run around. I know people don't say, Kenya, you a good mom. Jessica, you a good mom. So it's understood that if the men might be good or might not be good. I tell people all the time, I say, you're a good dad. I'm not a good dad. I used to get offended at first. You know what I'm saying? But then I just said, listen, I'm just a responsible parent. And I'm doing what I'm supposed to do those are my responsibilities. Now, here's a good dad. Your husband's a good dad. because he took on the responsibility of somebody else.
He's a great man,
You know what I'm saying?
actually, because he didn't have to step in when he did. At the
Exactly.
age that we were, he didn't have to do none of those things. He stepped in and stepped up, and he's always been there and consistently and still is. So he's great at what the fuck he do. Like I don't
Right.
know what anybody else do, but that dad shit, that father shit, he got that on lock.
Now let
And
me
I
just jump
and
in
I
here
take
real
my
quick.
hat off to him. I say it all the time because my I got a boy. He has 3-step kids, and he raised them like they're his kids. I say, ooh, I'm gonna say the boy's name. I'm like, dude is a good dad because he took on a responsibility to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And his stepkids, their dad is still around. Just a piece of shit. You know
That's
what I'm
sad.
saying? But my man, I'm trying to say his name. You don't have to do that. Those
Right.
aren't the kids. You don't have to do that. But you stepped up and played that dad. That's why I consider you a good dad. I'm not a good dad. I'm just a responsible parent and do what I'm supposed to do and take care of my responsibility. That's all I do.
Right.
You know what I'm
Now
saying?
let me jump in here and bring it back to this post real quick, because I think that the saddest thing is that there are a lot of women who feel like they have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
That is just heartbreaking to me. And one thing that angers me is, like, how could you be such a despicable human being that you would require their mother to still sleep with you in order for you to be an active parent in her life? Like that's despicable. It's despicable. It's low down. It's dirty. Dirty.
So,
I
so
want to hear
this,
what Tavi. I want to hear what Tavi has to say. Tavi, you've been very, very quiet, and I know you're a good dad. We use great father. Like I know you are. So, like,
You talk,
what are your
you
thoughts
talking
on
about
that?
on the post? You
Huh?
talking about the
Yeah, I'm
post
talking
or
about, because we're specifically talking about this post.
That
What
post.
are your thoughts on this post?
I mean, I look at it like um it could be a condition that a lot of people, a lot of males, they're not mature enough to figure out. You know what I mean? A lot of males still are on that selfish phase to where they want their cake and eat it too. And that's probably the reason why they're not with the mom to begin with, because
Mm-hmm.
they probably was cheating on her to begin with
Mm-hmm.
because they wanted to have their cake and eat it too.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's the woman's duty to value herself more in those type of vulnerable stages. Like, even if you're vulnerable and you looking for love, you know what type of man that is at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's going to be nights where you're going to be lonely, and there's going to be nights that you want somebody to stay the night with you, but you gotta have the discipline enough not to let him back in your life,
Mm-hmm.
because he's not mature enough to understand. I always say this: most of the time, when the male matures, it's when he's down and out, and he's down to the lowest point, and he has to figure out he needs to mature to do better in life. But before he hits that phase, if he keeps getting his way, he's gonna keep doing it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. And
That's a
honestly,
that's a that's a really good point, Tavi.
he's gonna keep doing it, and it's abuse. Ultimately, it's abuse of the mother and the children. It's
It is.
emotional abuse.
It is.
It's emotional. It's mental. Yeah. Yes. For sure.
Yes.
For
And a
sure.
lot, a lot of
But
times, women will
I
do
know you
anything
said
for their
something about the
child.
woman being having enough confidence to, like, just not do it. But mothers, we will we'll die for our kids.
And that's what I
So
was
if
about to
in
say.
your heart that if I quit sleeping with this man, he's not really going to be around. I While I did not do that, I could understand why somebody would make that choice.
And sometimes a woman, especially if she's single, if she doesn't already have another male in her life, a woman likes to have, even if it's temporary, she likes the idea of a complete family. So he
Yes.
might wake up in the morning, cook breakfast for you and the kids, but then he might be out in the nighttime. He might go party or something, and then go back to doing what he was doing before, and you might not see him for a month or so. But for that little bit of time when y'all was that complete family, it might feel good to her. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's up to the males to mature, and it's up to the woman to know that temporary fulfillment is on. It's not going to do nothing but hurt the kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The kid.
Right.
Doing a disservice to the kids.
And
I
you
feel
know,
like
me.
hopefully it won't take the female, whoever is in that predicament currently, um long to get out, because like you said, just like, sometimes they might be feeling like they're not worthy, or you know what I'm saying, like they got to just do this because it's for the in their mind at that moment, it's for the betterment of the kids or whatever. So
that's how fights start too. A lot of look, you can't keep messing with a woman's emotions.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Shout out to the strong moms who thugging it out, riding it out with their kids, and not going through that type of bullshit. It's
And shout out to the
definitely
males that can mature fast enough to know to take care of their kids.
to
Yeah.
take care of their responsibilities, because that's what it
But
is.
I think, like, as women, I know that Kenya, you and I.
Bless you.
Thank you. Oh, Jess, you froze again. I wanted to hear what she had to say too.
And for ourselves.
Jess, what did you say? You froze.
Oh man, I had trouble with my internet connection. Sorry. I was saying, you and I have had multiple conversations offline. And I think one of the things that we talked about a while ago was, if women collectively set a standard for themselves that we're not going to put up with that type of behavior, then men will follow suit.
But there might have been, it could be hard too, because it could be like something that was like the mom might have went through it, their mom might have went through it. You know what I mean? It might have been something that they were seeing.
It might have been systematic.
Yeah,
right.
Down the line. It's hard when you're dealing like you said, the racial thing that you was talking about, it happens so much in the Black community that it could be very hereditary.
What do they call it? What is that? A generational curse when it's passed down like that? You know what I'm saying? Like through the family or whatever. I know that Jessica's child is going to hold whoever she encounters to a higher standard, on the simple fact of, because I know who Jess is, and I know what she's raising and how she's raising her daughter to be. So like, I feel like that's good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, if you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta stand at some point, or just keep falling into the bullshit. So I feel like only the person itself, their self, knows when enough is enough, or when I'm gonna stand here and not take this shit or whatever. So just Tav, I know you're present in your children's lives. So and there's a quite a few females who don't allow that. What if it's the dad who wants to not, he just wants to take care of his kid, but the mom might be like, oh, well, you can't come see her or him if you won't do, you know what I'm saying? Because we have a lot of that shit too that we don't talk about either. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of that shit.
Yeah. And I was blessed, like Keith was saying, I was blessed to have good co-parenting, as far as where the mother moved on, they're doing whatever they're doing, and I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and we're able to just come together for the kids. But I definitely see where the mother will hold that, like they might not be over the dad, and they might hold the kid above the dad's head too.
That's leverage or pawn.
Yeah, so that right there. Again, if you can't figure it out, it's going to end up becoming more than just sex. You're going to end up fighting. It's going to get bad.